Waste pollution has been a major environmental issue for centuries, while Japan has a reputation for a comfortable living condition through proper waste management. Under what policies formulated, a no-waste environment has been created for the Japanese. In the late 19th century, Japan suffered from waste problem due to modernization. During the beginning stage of waste treatment, there is not appropriate waste management and therefore garbage is often discarded on roadsides and leads to unsanitary conditions. Along with rapid urbanization and economic development, urban waste began to skyrocket in the post-war period. Waste management policies and recycling technology have been established gradually in order to deal with the rising amount of waste. During the 20th century, the economic system was based on mass production, mass consumption, and mass dumping, causing mass waste production. Therefore, the government promotes the establishment of a sound material cycle society, and aims to reduce consumption and recycle waste based on 3R: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Figure 1. In the basic plan, for establishing a sound material cycle society, goals for resource productivity and recycling ratio were set and expected to increase with years and amount of final disposal should be lowered. From 2010 to 2025, goals for resource productivity are intended to increase from 37 to 49. As for goals for recycling ratio, it should be raised from 14 to 18 in 15 years, and amount of final disposal should be lessened from 2,800 to 1,300 during 2010 to 2025. During the 20th century, total amount of waste generated experienced a huge growth due to economic growth and industrialization. 35 million tons of waste was increased in 20 years. Meanwhile, many kinds of waste have been generated, including construction waste and manufacturing waste. Waste generated by factories derives pollution and seriously damages public health. The urban setting also led to high consumption and waste generation. The Tokyo 23 wards generate around 3 million tons of municipal solid waste each year. Around 70% of waste comes from households, while the other 30% comes from the business sector. After the 21st century, average daily amount of waste generated per capita and overall garbage generation have been reduced gradually since 2005, following the introduction of recycling laws in the late 20th century. However, even with decreasing garbage appearance, remaining capacity of landfill was shortened. Currently, Tokyo has only one operating landfill, Central Breakwater Landfill. The largest amount in the landfill was incineration residue, followed by municipal waste. It has been predicted that this landfill will meet its capacity in around 50 years. Furthermore, Japanese shopping culture places great emphasis on packaging, therefore Japan consumes lots of plastic packaging waste. Japan is the second largest generator of plastic packaging waste on a per capita basis after the USA. In Japan, plastic packaging accounts for more than 60% of all plastic waste generated. In 2020, due to the pandemic outbreak, waste from home is increasing while business waste and infectious industrial waste are decreasing. Total municipal waste in Tokyo 23 wards generated have been reduced 7%. Meanwhile, no significant problem was observed in the waste management for municipal waste in Japan due to COVID-19. On the contrary, the pandemic accelerates reduce, reuse, and recycle, placing waste management in a better place. According to the United Nations, sustainability refers to meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Through proper waste management, Japan creates a comfortable living condition for the present by formulating and implementing policies. By establishing a sound material cycle society, clean living environments are assumed to be maintained by strict waste discharge, appropriate sorting, storage, and recycling, etc. Also, public health is expected to be enhanced by issuing permits to waste disposal contractors and construction permits for waste discarding facilities, etc. To transition to a more sustainable city, Japan has to face the problem of reducing landfill capacity. In the Sustainable Design Tokyo project issued in 2018, future goals towards a more sustainable Tokyo by comprehensive waste administration were set. The major goal is to dwindle consumption and boost recycle and reuse rate by selecting low-carbon, natural symbiosis, and recycling products. Before 2030, the recycle rate is expected to increase 10% and the total disposal rate is expected to reduce 25%. The success of environmental conservation management in some developed countries, especially Japan, begins in the family environment, educational environment, school, non-formal education unit, Kominkan, Shimen Center, and community environment and other institutions which are fully responsible on environmental management. Naima et al. 2012, Siswati et al. 2009. They believe that education is the most appropriate place to change people's attitudes and behavior regarding to their environmental management and conservation. Some efforts made by the Japanese government include integrating curriculum school with environmental preservation, teacher, principal and administrative personnel training in improving their knowledge, attitude and skills in environmental management. Provide a full role to Kominkan Simi Center in developing environmental management programs with community leaders, RW, volunteers and families, so that schools and other educational institutions become the main pioneers in the environmental management and conservation. Changes in community behavior towards people who are aware and concerned about the quality and sustainability of the environment need to be done through real examples of role models and through education. The process of environmental education needs to be given from an early age, either through formal or informal, and non-formal education. In the process of education, the provision of knowledge is an early part of the formation of attitudes and behavioral changes so that learners are more concerned with the environment that is marked by the existence of positive attitudes towards activities that support the realization of a cleaner, beautiful, comfortable environment through waste minimization efforts, waste utilization and recycling, b. Utilization of natural resources in an efficient and sustainable and energy savings, and c. Environmental hygiene activities, healthy physics and mind, and harmony in society. Upon moving to Japan, many foreign residents find the garbage disposal system confusing. In other countries, garbage is often classified into three main categories: recyclable, household, and vegetation waste. However, most cities, towns, and villages across Japan categorize and discard waste in a very particular manner. In addition to burnable trash, i.e. paper scraps, combustibles are further separated into smaller categories, including newspapers, magazines, and plastics. Furthermore, these must each be disposed of on their designated day. Depending on the city, town, or district, there may be designated bags that residents are required to use for trash. In other words, the rules for separating and disposing of garbage depend on the local municipality. Many municipal offices provide pamphlets that explain the rules of garbage disposal. They are available in English and Chinese as well. Whether you refer to this pamphlet or consult someone living in your area, it's best to become familiar with the garbage disposal rules of your neighborhood. Japan's basic approach to municipal solid waste (MSW) is 1. Waste reduction, 2. Promotion of recycling, 3. Volume reduction by intermediate treatment, and 4. Environmentally sound final disposal. A brief history of legislative trends in waste management is given as background for current waste management and recycling activities. The material recovery rate for MSW collected by local municipalities was only 5.6% in 1996. More than half of MSW, on a volume basis, consists of containers and packages, while great amounts of landfill space are also taken up by bulky waste such as electric appliances. Therefore, in order to promote recycling and decrease landfill waste, Japan is targeting containers, packages, and electric appliances. A law promoting separate collection and recycling of containers and packages, packaging waste recycling law, and a law requiring the recycling of specific home electric appliances into new products, home electric appliance recycling law, were introduced in June 1995 and June 1998, respectively. These laws are in line with the OECD policy Extended Producer Responsibility (EPR). Japan's basic approach to municipal solid waste (MSW) is 1. Waste reduction, 2. Promotion of recycling,